Imagine stepping through the wrought-iron arch of the Oakland Cemetery in downtown Shreveport, Louisiana, a green oasis of oak and magnolia, laid out in 1849, where mayors, pioneers, and yellow fever victims share unmarked graves. Feel your pulse quicken as we slip into the tangled boundary of Swann Cemetery, high atop a Barboursville ridge in West Virginia, where field stone markers hide stories no history book ever told. Then we're off to the bayou's edge. Listen for the blood-curdling screech of the Grunch, the goat-horned, shape-shifting terror stalking Louisiana shell roads since the 1820s. And northeast, back to West Virginia, where the Ogua lurks beneath moon-slashed waters with a tail that could capsize your skiff. Finally, we'll sift through the decades of cold case files, where 17-year-old David Yeager, last seen heading to the centenary debate in Shreveport on a February afternoon in 1971, the senior's brand new ring still locked away, and Bonnie Hutton, a 44-year-old spirit who disappeared from Martinsville, West Virginia in 1983, leaving only questions buried with her. Are you ready to wander where daylight fears to tread? Lock your doors, dim the lights, and let's dive into the shadows that never sleep. Hey y'all, how are you today?
I'm fantabulous. Thank you for asking. I got to wear a hoodie. Well, not a hoodie. Like I put on a zippered hoodie because I needed a light jacket this morning on my way to work. It was cool. And it's not gross outside.
It was chilly down here this morning even. I'm ready.
Great news because it's usually really sweaty and disgusting.
Yeah, it's usually at least
there
in the mid-80s by like 9 or 10 o'clock at least.
Absolutely not. No, thank you.
I know. I think our high was supposed to be like 88 today. Doesn't sound
I think
great
ours was 77.
you, but
no, it doesn't sound lovely at all.
But to us, that is glorious.
That's probably like, oh, I'm going to go get my winter coat.
Craig looked at the weather like 4 days ago and was like, Tuesday's going to be great. And I was like, oh. But
Zane said yesterday that he looked and it was going to be in the 40s some days. And I went, yes. And he went, no.
Yeah, no, I'm ready. But I think I've gotten used to the heat now. So, and then we had the AC issues. So I got really used to it. And then when we got our AC back, I cranked it back up to like 75 generally during the day because I've gotten so used to it being hot that now I'm like freezing to death. So
I don't know. My bedroom feels like an iceberg because that's how I like to sleep. So I
do at night. Yeah, I have to turn it down at night because if I don't, I won't go to sleep.
Yeah.
We have that and a ceiling fan. Our room is the warmest room in the house. So,
well, mine's not connected to the central air, so I've got that wall unit.
Yeah, that's true. You have like individual control for yours.
Yeah, so I can make it as cold as I want to.
That's glorious.
Yeah, it is.
I just freeze Lainey. But she has like 750 blankets on her bed at all times anyway, so it doesn't matter. Most of which she doesn't sleep under. She'll start out there, but it doesn't stay.
Do you want to know what else is making me happy today?
What?
You're gonna hate this so much.
Great. Ugh. Well.
I love them.
However, I found Reese's pumpkins and the big dollar store has their Halloween section out, and I bought another cinnamon broom. So, I mean, I have other luxuries that are not those.
For those of you who don't know what I just rattled, it was a pumpkin delight, and they're my favorite. But they're making me happy. And I can't remember if you like these or not.
Oh yeah, I love those. Those are good.
Okay. I knew there was something that you liked, and it's a mellow.
And I like candy corn, but only just like 3. That's all I can eat at a time. It's like 3 once a year. Not good. Those, however, I will eat the whole bag.
It's the same thing. This is just a pumpkin.
No.
They're all mallow creams.
No, my brain says otherwise, and those don't taste the same to me.
I like the autumn mix, so it has the chocolate ones, and I just want the chocolate ones.
What? I haven't had that.
How are you going to look at me like that and say you don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't. There's chocolate ones?
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Do you see my screen? Okay, see the ones that have the brown bottom?
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I
There's a chocolate.
I think I just eat the ones that you held before me just now.
Okay, well, if you get the autumn mix, it has the regular kind and the pumpkins and the chocolate ones, and they're very delicious.
I don't know if I would like that, but we'll see. I'll try to find some. All right, guys. So today we have crawfish and pepperoni rolls for you. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do a subject for Louisiana, and then Amy is going to do one for West Virginia, and we are matching topics. Technically speaking. Actually, it worked out that we actually did kind of match topics. Like our first ones weren't supposed to be the same exact thing, and somehow we ended up with the same thing. But that's fine. It works. We both have...
we don't really talk about what we're gonna.
Oh yeah, we don't plan these. I pick all of my things. She picks all of her things, and then put them together. And then I don't really go over it at all to see what you've got until now. So anyway, I
don't read yours either. No, I sometimes I skim, but I'd rather hear you tell it.
All right, guys, I am going to start us off with a local favorite. This is a cemetery that holds a lot of history and haunts. This is the Oakland Cemetery in Shreveport, Louisiana, and here is some history. Oakland Cemetery began as the Fanning Street Cemetery. When Shreveport was first laid out in 1836, the Shrevetown Company recognized the need for a burial ground and opened what became known as the Fannin Street Cemetery almost immediately. By 1840, the small burial ground was nearing capacity, prompting civic leaders to plan a larger site. Burials in the Fannin Street Cemetery officially ceased in 1851, and many remains were transferred to the new city cemetery after the Civil War. So the establishment of the city cemetery was between 1847 and 1849. So the first part of that process was the land acquisition. That was on March 30th, 1847. The city acquired 10 acres, 2 blocks west of Common Street from Mary Bennett Kane and her father, Dr. Samuel Bennett. Mary Bennett Kane was among Shreveport's earliest white settlers and gave birth to the first white child in Shreveport that same year. Ordinance and official designation was on July 20th, 1849. The mayor and trustees passed an ordinance making this tract the official town cemetery, although burials had been taking place there since 1840. It was the first municipally owned cemetery in Shreveport. The city ownership, which took place in 1847, the formal transfer of ownership to the city allowed for more structured upkeep and planning. Renaming it to the Oakland Cemetery happened in 1905. The city cemetery was rechristened Oakland Cemetery, reflecting both the stately oak trees planted throughout and a trend toward more picturesque burial grounds at the turn of the century. Very few burials have taken place here in the last 70 years, and no new plots are being sold. So the landscape and layout. Oakland Cemetery spans approximately 8 gently rolling acres in downtown Shreveport's oldest neighborhood. Key features include masonry retained walls surrounding the tract, wrought-iron gates, and fences at main entrances. Informal gravel drives weaving between headstones. Also, there is a mature canopy of large oaks, magnolias, and cypress trees. Traditional underground burials marked by headstones in contrast to above-ground vaults found elsewhere in Louisiana. So these are mostly burials. Most of these are not vaults. So we have a lot of the big, huge, grand headstones and all that.
Okay.
Some of the notable interments there are Colonel Leon D. Marks, a hero of Vicksburg, Justice Thomas T. Land of the Louisiana Supreme Court, Mary Kane, Shreveport's first female settler, 2 grandsons of President Zachary Taylor and nephews of President Jefferson Davis, Martha Bowie Sterrett, sister of Jim Bowie, and her husband, Sheriff Alexander Sterrett, 16 mayors of Shreveport spanning antebellum through Reconstruction eras. Yeah.
Wow.
That's just some of the more known people.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of my favorites, though, because I had to have a favorite for that for whatever reason. Notable sections include the Yellow Fever mass grave, and I'll tell you a little bit on that. The 1873 epidemic alone claimed nearly 800 lives, buried together in a single mound as a sobering testament to the era's public health crisis. So there are hundreds of people in that mass grave.
Wow.
Yeah. The Jewish Cemetery, which is another section, this is from 1858, 1 acre in the north corner, was purchased by the Hebrew Mutual Benevolent Association, marking Shreveport's first Jewish burial ground. There's the Masonic and Oddfellows section. Dedicated plots reflect the city's active fraternal orders, each marked by distinctive symbols and monuments. Today, there is still preservation going on. They are doing a lot of preservation work. Oakland Cemetery is more than just a burial ground. It's one of downtown Shreveport's largest green spaces and a living museum of 19th century landscape design. The city maintains the grounds, but individual plots remain family-owned. Although few new graves have been dug in decades, the site endures as a historical landmark preserving multicultural narratives, white and black, Christian and Jewish, free and enslaved. An example of informal 19th century cemetery planning, contrasting with the leveled, regimented layout of later municipal burial grounds. I can't talk today, so all of my editing is going to be myself. Anywho, a catalyst for local preservation efforts and heritage tourism, including ghost tours and educational walks. Restoration projects funded by local heritage organizations working to catalog unmarked graves. So they are working on trying to find out who these people are that are in all of them. And there's quite a few still.
So you're saying somewhere there are records of these, they just don't have?
Probably.
Or
yeah.
They have to do some wild guessing.
I'd say a lot of it's probably wild guessing. Oral histories from descendants of those interred, enriching the facts with personal anecdotes. So, yes.
Oh, okay. If I would have waited 5 seconds.
Well, whatever. So then there's the general haunted lore at Oakland Cemetery. Oakland Cemetery is steeped in ghost stories, from Civil War soldiers marching between the tombstones to restless spirits of yellow fever victims in the mass graves. The folklore of Shreveport hauntings include Oakland Cemetery is rumored to be one of the city's most haunted sites. So some of those hauntings include Nathan Goldkine's phantom. Nathan Goldkine was a Polish-Jewish immigrant who founded a dry goods store in Shreveport in 1872. After a disputed poker game in 1885, he was shot through the eye. I know, that was my face when I read that also.
I don't like it.
I don't like it even a little bit. He was shot by Gus Logan and buried in Oakland Cemetery under a zinc marker inscribed, "In God He Trusted." For over 50 years, visitors and ghost tour guides have reported seeing his restless spirit at his gravesite and even reaching out to play with the hair of women on the tours.
I will wear a hat.
Nothing.
Do not touch it. I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is he a phantom instead of a ghost?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
I'll look some more information on him. I got too
I
focused
don't want
on
to touch my hair.
on my main subject. So visitors have reported several different types of things that have happened to them, like footsteps echoing in empty paths where no one's walking. Whispered voices near the yellow fever burial mound. Flickering lantern lights drifting by mausoleums at dusk. Ghost tours often highlight these specific things, the mound of the yellow fever's dead as the most active paranormal hotspot, which that's understandable. There's hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
A lone female silhouette glimpsed near plot 15, sometimes linked to Annie McCoon's plot, though no concrete evidence ever ties it to her. Which leads me...
I just got real bad cold chills and I don't like it. Somebody walked across my grave.
That's never good. But
well, since I'm not going to have one, I don't know how that happened, but
that's true.
You started talking about her and I got the chills and I didn't like it at all.
You're welcome. But anyway, that leads me to my favorite personal grave and story that resides here in Oakland Cemetery. Miss Annie McCoon was born in Ireland around 1845 and arrived in Shreveport, Louisiana at the end of the Civil War as a camp follower. Settling in the neighborhood known as St. Paul's Bottom, she quickly established herself in the city's emerging red light district, running one of its most prominent brothels and earning the nickname Queen of the area.
Well,
I know.
Now, do you know whether or not she had been, maybe I need to shut up, but I'm going to have this question and maybe you're going to answer it. Had she been in the red light district of Ireland before she came over? And
I don't think so.
Okay.
But perhaps. Okay. I did a pretty brief history on her. Tried not to go too far because I didn't want to take up the whole entire thing. But
gotcha.
Over the following decades, McCoon leveraged her business success to acquire a sizable estate and secure a top line of credit at her local bank. Beyond her notoriety as a madam, she became an art patroness and was known for her philanthropic contributions to the Shreveport community, attaining a level of respectability uncommon for someone in her profession at the time.
So she was really doing all the things.
She was doing all the things. That's why I was like, oh, okay, so she was a madam. And then I continued to read about her and I was like, that's not all. She was doing the damn thing. Especially considering this was like Civil War era.
Right.
That's crazy. So Annie McCoon died on June 13th, 1920 in Shreveport. Her death was from pneumonia, followed by the amputation of her left leg due to gangrene.
Oh, my.
Yeah. She was laid to rest in Oakland Cemetery, leaving behind a complex legacy as both an outlaw entrepreneur and a community benefactor. So
that is an amazing legacy.
I know.
Outlaw entrepreneur.
See what I mean? But she gave back to the community, too, which is, I don't know.
And she was keeping all them mans happy, so.
Right? I mean, it's a good point. So Annie McCoon is interred in Oakland Cemetery, Plot 15, a spot often included in historical tours for its notable residents. While I was going through YouTube the other day, looking around at what I could find of her, like anything that somebody's done of her, it wasn't much. Like a lot of it was people had recorded some of the tours, and they have a lady that sometimes plays her as they do the historical tour, and like she's standing out there with her dress pulled up and like she has a fan and she's talking to the people and telling the story of her, and it's kind of glorious. I love it. So some of the anecdotal sightings, some tour guides tell of a spectral woman in Victorian dress near her tombstone, but these accounts, of course, remain unverified. So,
right.
But I think if people are given tours enough and they're seeing some stuff, they're probably pretty credible, I would imagine. Some of the local paranormal investigations of amateur groups that have recorded unexplained cold spots and EVPs clipped in the red light district section of the cemetery, yet none cite Annie by name. So,
okay, so they don't know that they're getting EVPs,
right?
But they don't know that is Annie.
They're basically you're not getting a name.
Okay,
ties to her. And then here's just a little side quest for you on this. One of the many reasons that I will not go there at night is because there are, I'll just read it. A less spectral but equally unsettling legend involves nocturnal, large brown tarantulas that emerge from...
I don't like the words you said.
...near Christian Street after dark. Folklore suggests these arachnids hitched a ride on trains from Texas. Some visitors swear they've seen them leap across pathways under the glow of flashlights. Officially, after-hours visits require written permission from the Shreveport Parks and Recreation, but that hasn't stopped thrill seekers from hunting these giant spiders under moonlit oaks. And that is the end of my discussion of the Oakland Cemetery in Shreveport, Louisiana. You want to go back to that?
I
No offense. You want to continue
hate
that discussion?
all of the words that you just said.
So,
less spectral all the way down to moonlit oaks.
Yeah, me either. I didn't like any of it myself. As I was researching and got all into Annie McCoon, and I was like, oh, she's great. I'm reading, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, also there's spiders. And I was like, whatever. And then I read it, and I'm like, what? No.
Thrill seekers hunt the giant spiders.
That's correct.
Under moonlit oaks.
I mean, so it says. I'm not one of them, so I couldn't tell you if they do or not, but according to the Shreveport Parks and Recreation say that they do, and they need to get written permission from them in order to go there after dark, I guess.
Well, that's on my list of things I'll never be doing is
same
looking for tarantulas.
Yeah, I'm never not looking for spiders of any size. But I'm never actually looking to find them either. You know what I mean? Like I'm always...
Right. They just show up in my eyesight.
I'm on the lookout, but I'm not looking for them.
I don't want to be your friend.
No.
You've got the 8 legs.
No. You know what? I've done very, very well over the last couple of years with, catch and release in the house. I don't have a lot. It's just been a few. But if you'll recall that thing that lives in that tree in the backyard. Do you know, ma'am, I still have not been in our backyard. How long ago was that?
Oh, no. I forgot about your 8-legged nopey nope from hell.
I still don't go back there. It's that big.
Oh, my God.
And then I was talking about it with Craig's father, and he said, that might have been a tarantula, and I never really thought about that. That we have them here. I've not seen any. Thank all the things. But he said that, and I was like, but I don't think it was. Its legs weren't correct.
Aragog lives in your tree stump.
It does.
I'm not here for it.
I've not been there for it. I don't go on the back porch. I used to live back there on the back porch all the time, and now I can't even go back there because I literally, to this day, can't go back there without thinking, is that thing still in there?
Craig ain't checked for you?
He did that one night. Remember, I took a picture of him looking down in there, and I was like, he has lost his ever-loving mind.
Hasn't gone back to see if it's still there?
Nah.
Ew, Bambi.
I don't think he thinks about
to your house.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think
I'm not thinking about this every day now.
But that's all I think about. Still, I'll open the back door and just look around like,
nope.
Is there a leg?
You go out there with a handheld gun.
It's not near my porch. Like, it's not even. That's all I think about. When that tree fell back there, like it's on the other side of the fence, you have to pass the tree stump to get over there. And I have yet to go over that way. I go around the front and all the way around the yard and the fence and the building. I can't.
I'm laughing. What's not at you? Oh, look, I know that that's not.
It's been like
Bambi
what?
How
not
me.
Has that been?
I mean, I forgot about it. So.
And I did not.
I mean, that could have been as far back as 5 minutes ago, but it's been like 2 years.
It's been just I wasn't here for too awful long. So it's been like,
did you get the pumpkin?
Was it around the pumpkin time?
I think
if
it was
that's
around
the
the
case,
pumpkin time.
Then it was okay. It was 2 years then.
I think so. Okay. So for my haunting segment, I have decided to go with Swann Cemetery.
I have
and I don't know that I had ever heard of it either, and there's more than one, but we're going to get into that.
Okay.
I've definitely never been there. I always want to go to all the places, but I'd probably just get scared and leave.
Right.
Okay. So, founded by Hezekiah Swann and his family, Swann Cemetery lies behind a red brick farmhouse along Macabre Road just outside Barboursville, West Virginia. Enclosed by a now fallen fence, only a handful of headstones remain legible, memorializing Swann, Keenan, Davis, and Spurlock family members and date back to the early 1800s. The cemetery did earn a brief nod on Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State as one of West Virginia's lesser-known haunted sites, but no real details accompanied the listing. Beyond that mention, there are no formal investigations or published accounts. So this is a really under-researched cemetery. Do you follow Teresa's page?
I do not. I had not heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should. She's
for sure.
Yeah, she's got a really good thing going on there.
Yeah.
So I'd actually like to read, because I went to her, I think it was on the website. Yeah, it was on the website. I want to read that brief nod because it had some information that was really interesting.
Yeah.
So it says, I emailed Mr. George Swann about the claims, who informed me that there are actually 7 Swann cemeteries in Cabell County and at least 3 in Barboursville, 2 of which are within miles of each other near Owsley Gap off Malcolm Road. These 2 are the Levin C. Swann Cemetery and the Hezekiah Swann Cemetery. And that's right, because whenever I looked it up on Google Maps, it would take me to one if I typed in Swann Cemetery. But if I typed in the latitude and longitude, it would take me down the road.
Oh, wow.
But one you can tell from Google Map View, whatever
Right.
that's called.
Yeah.
You could tell that it's a cemetery. One just kind of looks like an empty field.
Right.
The haunted cemetery is most likely the Levin C. Swann Cemetery. And she does, if you go to her webpage, have a picture of this. It's the sign for the cemetery.
Oh, yes.
And it's just a plain white sign, and it says, I think it just says Swann Cemetery.
Yeah.
There's not anything like special or scary looking about it.
Right.
Mr. Swann could tell me nothing of either cemetery being haunted, but was able to tell me that the area around the cemetery was the original homestead and had been in the family since 1869. The family before them had owned the property since around 1810. In addition, Mr. Swann also informed me that his grandfather did share a ghost story that happened in the area. Apparently, when the grandfather was a boy, he was walking home one night and saw a coffin floating through the woods.
I'm sorry.
A whole coffin.
Okay.
It is possible that due to the proximity of the original homestead to the cemetery, that the coffin incident did take place in the woods surrounding the cemetery.
Well, I mean, if I were going to float my coffin somewhere, it'd probably be the woods around the cemetery.
I mean,
I don't know where else I would go.
Imagine.
I don't think that
Right.
like a whole ass coffin. Just
like, I have a lot of questions about that whole coffin too, because was it fully intact? Was it new looking? Was it, did it look like it had been in the ground? I have many questions. Correct, which makes me even more curious.
I'd be like,
yes, it feels very Scooby-Doo.
It does. Yeah,
I don't know why. Just when I picture that in my head, it's a little, I don't know. Yeah, it sure does.
That's interesting.
So that was what Teresa had to say on her webpage there about it. So some of the reported phenomena include my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, I cringed.
Childlike, huh?
I cringed as soon as I glanced down at the next line there.
Mm-hmm. Childlike laughter echoing between markers, abruptly halting if you acknowledge it.
No, that's even...
no worries. I'm probably not gonna.
No, I'm not gonna acknowledge anything. I grew up in Appalachia.
If you heard childlike laughter, no, you didn't.
That goes for
okay,
pretty much anything.
Especially if it's dark out. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Another creepy one. And I'll go into a little bit of stories that correlate to these.
Okay.
Shadowy silhouettes, sometimes described as a man in a wide-brimmed hat gliding past older swan plots. Localized cold spots along the main path, inconsistent with evening temperatures. That's fine.
I'm good with cold. Yeah.
Fingernail-like tapping on tombstones, as if someone traces epitaph letters. Ew.
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't like living ASMR. I'm not here for the dead kind either. I can't. No.
I don't like dead ASMR.
Just saying.
Well, that's glorious.
I mean that with my whole heart.
Dead ASMRs. Dying. Okay. Small glowing orbs captured in low-light photographs, often congregating near Cynthia Keenan's stone.
I like orbs. Orbs are cool.
I'm okay with orbs.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so here are some of the notable stories that are going to go along with a few of those phenomena. A pair of amateur ghost hunters visiting at dusk in 2008 reported seeing a faint female figure in a flowing white garment, because there's always a woman in white, drifting between the Keenan and Swann headstones. As they approached, the shape vanished, but their digital camera captured a pale blur, later identified as hovering directly above Cynthia A. Keenan's 1902 marker. Witnesses describe a soft sobbing that rises and falls with the nearby breeze. Nope.
No?
So this is the man in the wide-brimmed hat, and any man in a wide-brimmed hat story automatically makes me visualize the Reverend Henry Kane from Poltergeist 2, and I definitely hear him saying, "You're all gonna die in there," in his creepy voice. During an organized walk in 2015, a member of the Mid-Ohio Valley Paranormal Society swore he glimpsed a tall silhouette, hat tilted low, pacing slowly beside Ballard S. Swann's tombstone. Every time the group shone their flashlights toward him, he stepped back behind an aged oak, never fully revealing his face. Well, that's because it's not there. Old-time locals speculate this may be the restless spirit of a Swann patriarch keeping eternal watch.
Huh.
Yeah. So, phantom child laughter.
No.
And there's that word phantom again.
I know.
Interesting. In summer of 2012, a Barboursville teenager camping near the old fence awoke to the unmistakable sound of children's giggles echoing among the graves. Thinking friends were playing a prank, he called out, but the laughter stopped dead. A moment later, tiny handprints, cold and damp, were found smudged on the rusted gate, though no one was ever seen.
No.
Okay, back to the fingernail-like tapping. So, the fingernail-like tapping. A solo investigator equipped with handheld audio recorders spent 3 nights in 2019 attempting EVP captures. Each time he posed a question aloud near Catherine Hatfield Swann's stone, a distinct rapping, sharp as nail taps, answered from just beneath the mossy base. On playback, the taps occur in irregular patterns, as though spelling out a hidden message. Nope.
No. That's all.
Imagine she's playing the game where you write something on someone's back, or you have to guess what it is. That's what I'm picturing going on in my head.
I just finally started growing my nails back out, and now I want to cut them off.
Because you don't want to do that.
I don't like it.
Forget nails on a chalkboard, boys and girls.
Just
nails on a tombstone.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Multiple photographers claim that just after sunset, clusters of small pale orbs drift into frame when pointing their cameras at Cynthia Keenan's grave. One 2017 infrared shot shows over a dozen glowing spheres hovering roughly 5 feet above the ground, then slowly drifting off toward the woods. So I really wasn't able to find much more information about the cemetery or any other hauntings related to it, and I did check it to confirm how many plots are there. Find a Grave lists 19 people, and People's Legacy lists 16.
Oh.
So there are several infant graves.
Right.
Some of the tombstones are knocked over and or damaged. I read somewhere that the family, that it was overgrown, but the family is working to make it look better, get it cleaned up.
Actually, when I was looking for the hand pictures, I saw a bunch of like pictures of some of the knocked over ones, and then the smaller one that you were talking about that you can see from the top.
Yeah.
You can't find a whole lot of pictures, but there's really nothing. You can't see anything really. So, but I'll find some more. I have to find some more for the show notes anyway. So,
yeah.
So our second topic for this one is going to be cryptids, and we both have a cryptid for you. These are both pretty interesting. I don't know how many people have heard of this one for down here. Most people know of like the Rougarou down here. That's probably the biggest one. This guy is called the Grunch.
And I have never heard of this. I'm really excited about it.
And there's a lot of wild stories with this too about how it came to be, and we'll get into it. The Grunch is a cryptid said to haunt the swamps and bayous of southern Louisiana, particularly around New Orleans. sometimes called the Grunch Road Monster or Grunch Swamp Monster. It's depicted either as a blood-sucking beast akin to the chupacabra or as a cannibalistic half-human driven mad by inbreeding and pacts with the devil.
Well, that's interesting. So is Grunch is a road? Grunch is a town?
There
Grunch
was a Grunch Road. It's not there anymore, but there was a Grunch Road. So accounts describe the Grunch as having razor-sharp teeth, goat-like legs, and glowing red eyes. Some tales add scaly skin, bat-like wings, shape-shifting abilities, and uncanny intelligence, opening doors or mimicking human speech to victims before draining their blood through a single puncture.
I don't like any of those things.
He doesn't sound like a very cool guy.
Nah.
Legend places the creature's lair along the long-vanished shell and dirt Grunch Road, thought to lie in today's Little Woods neighborhood, possibly now Gannon Road. So there is a new road where that would have been.
Okay.
Earliest stories date back to the decades after the Louisiana Purchase, and folklore even ties the Grunch origins to Marie Laveau's attempt to castrate a devil baby whose severed testicles allegedly spawned 2 Grunches that escaped into the woods.
Oh.
I'm going to let you sit with that for just a second.
Well, that's a lot.
It is a lot. So
okay.
Devil baby, severed testicles, spawned 2 Grunches that escaped into the woods.
Well, where's the other one? It's sheep squatch.
Right. I mean...
didn't it say it had goat-like legs?
Uh-huh.
Did you say that?
Well, some accounts. Like, it's described in different ways, depending, I guess, on who you're talking to. Maybe there are 2, and they just look different. One has the goat legs. The other one has the scales. You know what I mean?
I mean, you were talking about inbreeding causing a cryptid.
They also have been described as very small little people. That's where the inbred thing comes from. Kind of looking like gnomes.
Okay.
That's also another.
Wow. Hold on. That's right then.
Evil.
That's 2 so different things.
Gnome things. Anywho. More than just a monster, the Grunch symbolizes the wild, mysterious forces beyond New Orleans' urban fringe. Its tale endures in local ghost tours, cryptozoology blogs, and the city's tapestry of Creole and voodoo-infused folklore, which I think is where the whole Marie Laveau thing popped up. So some accounts for this, one including the Moonlit Drive on Old Grunch Road circa 1972. 4 high school friends were cruising what remained of the old shell road near Little Woods just after midnight. They heard an unearthly howl, slammed on the brakes, and saw 2 glowing red eyes at the tree line. One witness swears the creature stepped into the road, goat-like legs, hunched posture before vanishing into the cypress swamp. The group sped off, leaving their headlights blazing. They found deep, hoof-shaped gouges in the dirt.
Hey, do you remember when the sheep squash got scared because, something screamed at it and it ran off?
Right.
That's what it was. That's what it was. It was a Grunch.
Makes sense. I mean, if I were a sheep squatch and a devil baby's testicle started screaming at me, I would probably stop what I was doing too. I would assume my reaction would be like, all right, man, it's cool. Just say it. It's the fact that
when the testicles scream at me.
This story was spawned by that.
From testicles?
I mean, shit, I don't know. Anywho, French Quarter Ghost Tour recounting 1985. On one of the classic voodoo ghost tours, guide Tony Jacobs stopped near what used to be Grunch Road turnoff. He told guests about an old midwife who stumbled on a cave of inbred outcasts, or Grunches, and barely escaped. Jacobs insisted the midwife's gree-gree pouch still had stains from the creature's blood, and that he'd seen both the cave's location and the pouch himself. Though later he admitted he'd never actually seen the pouch in person, his vivid deliveries cemented the tale in tourist minds.
Sure.
Right. So this is where it kind of gets interesting because the Grunch sightings kind of came back since like the 80s after Hurricane Katrina. After Hurricane Katrina struck southeastern Louisiana in August 2005, eyewitness reports of the Grunch, the half-human, half-beast cryptid, said to roam the bayou spiked across the greater New Orleans area. While tales of the Grunch date back to the 1800s, a noticeable uptick of reported encounters occurred in the months following the storm. So the displacement of the Grunch from hidden habitats is what's said to have led to that. So the storm surge and levee breaches flooded swamps and woodlands, potentially driving any elusive creatures out of their usual refuges and into areas more frequented by humans. And there you have the many tales of the Grunch. And when I share pictures in the show notes of the various forms, it's going to be kind of funny because, like I said, you've got the goat-legged, it's got horns and all that too, ram's horns. And then you've got the weird scaly-looking version of it also. And then one kind of looks like just a really pissed-off little gnome with sharp teeth. So, it's great. So there you go. That's the Grunch. It's an interesting creature.
Oh, the little devil testicle. Maybe that's the little ones. Maybe that's why they're little. Those are the baby testicles. And the thing you've actually been talking about
is whole
something that scares the sheep squatch.
Right. I still kind of think that was a good description of what it could have been because I still don't know what would have scared that sheep squatch. Mama Squatch can't be that bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
That's true. We don't know her.
That's true. We don't.
We don't
know her story.
The biggest of wooden spoons up there, just that's a flop of death.
Jack's wooden spoon survivor. It's our new mascot instead of just flipping the bird.
I love it. Here for it.
So for today's West Virginia cryptid, I'm going to talk about Ogua, and you're going to think I said that wrong, but I looked it up. But it's Ogua.
Correct. I say it wrong in the intro, just so you know.
I'm going to say it wrong as I'm reading this. So
right. Well, I kept saying it wrong, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to say it how I say it.
Yeah.
Where that went.
And we'll talk about that in just a second, how it gets mispronounced. But I looked it up specifically because I thought I was saying it right by the way it was spelled. And from the language that the word came from, I thought I was saying it right.
Right.
So I had heard of this, but I didn't remember anyone giving it an actual specific name until I was older, and then I would hear about it. So now, when we say that we've heard of these cryptids, that's not meaning to say that we have sat around all of our whole lives and done nothing but talk about cryptids or anything like that. Right. I've read a lot of books, watched a lot of movies, and so
they've came up.
It just, the information where I get things from, it just leaves my brain sometimes, like just now.
Right.
So yeah, I have a brain full of useless knowledge.
Same.
Sometimes it's useful though.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough about that. I'm going to learn y'all a bit about Ogua. Some might pronounce it more like agua.
I think that's how I said it.
Which is the Spanish word for water.
Right.
It's Ogua.
I mean, it makes sense though.
So yeah.
That's why I assumed that was the correct way. And then I learned it wasn't. And then I still couldn't stop saying it. So whatever.
So the Ogua is a legendary freshwater cryptid said to patrol the Monongahela River in Marion County, West Virginia. Do you, from your West Virginia history, remember what Monongahela means?
No, I do.
Falling banks, like
yes,
the river banks, or banks that slide.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's said to patrol the Monongahela River in Marion County and its tributaries in north central West Virginia and southwestern Pennsylvania, with occasional sightings extending into the Ohio and Allegheny rivers. Its lore includes Native American warnings, settler chronicles, and eyewitness accounts. The name Ogua traces back to the Native American tribes, chiefly the Shawnee and Delaware, who first told of a great river beast by that moniker. While its exact linguistic roots have been lost, some accounts suggest Ogua once meant river demon or water devil. Witnesses have described Ogua as a massive two-headed alligator snapping turtle, roughly 20 feet long and about 500 pounds. Its shell, or carapace if you're fancy, appears to be leathery and is reddish-brown. It has 4 stubby legs and a long, powerful tail that can leave deep drag marks in riverbank soil. So for me, Ogua gives a little bit of an Ankylosaurus vibe, which is my all-time favorite dinosaur.
It does. Definitely.
It does. But an Ankylosaurus doesn't have a shell like that, but it's just the vibe that it gives me every time I hear about it. That's what I picture.
Shape, I feel like it's the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the accounts I read reported only one head. So this leads me to the question of whether there is more than one Ogua, and if the two-headed one is just an anomaly.
Could be.
Is there a family of them living in our rivers? As I said before, I do not doubt the existence of anything. So if there are giant turtles with 2 heads in our rivers.
Yeah.
According to ballyraven.com, and by the way, you need to check out their website and their Facebook page. They have some really good art on there. It's a cool site. You'll love it. So yeah, according to ballyraven.com, Ogua is reported to be an ambush predator capable of both aquatic assaults, knocking over canoes and snatching animals from the surface, and rapid terrestrial pursuits, dragging prey back to underwater dens. Evidence at these den sites can include deep, muddy ruts, fresh claw marks, semi-complete skeletons, gross, and discarded bones beneath riverbanks. There are a few theories about the origins of Ogua. It's rumored to be a dinosaur-era survivor, echoing Mesozoic giants in modern waters. It could be a stray Mississippi alligator that migrated up the Ohio into the Monongahela. Perhaps it's a mutated or undiscovered species of alligator snapping turtle, growing far beyond documented size norms. And if you didn't just start singing the theme song to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm not sure we can be friends.
It's been in my head the entire time.
Okay, good. That's my favorite theory. Having grown up on the Kanawha River and knowing what lives in the depths of that, a mutated turtle in the Mon, I'm not even going to blink at.
No, not even a little bit.
No, catfish the size of Volkswagen bugs.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. We've seen too many things come up out of there to doubt anything, really.
Yeah. One last theory is that it's a completely new species and has yet to be classified by science.
Could be.
Are you ready to hear about some encounters?
Absolutely.
Awesome. In chronological order, as always, 1745.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is. Along the Monongahela River, a 12-year-old boy was dragged underwater by a 2-headed snapping turtle and was never seen again.
Oh.
Yeah. In the mid-1800s, native guides warned European settlers of a double-snapped terror ambushing travelers at shallow crossings.
Oh.
So now we're in 1962, somewhere in the Morgantown stretch of the Monongahela River, and if you'll remember, that is Unami for falling banks, or river with the sliding banks. So there was a group of college students who were kayaking and spotted 2 basketball-sized heads side by side just beneath the surface before it just vanished.
Wow. No.
You don't want to go swim in the Mon with me?
I mean, I don't go rivers anyway because I can't see what's in there.
Oh, it's probably best.
Why is it always me with these problems?
I don't know.
I don't do that.
I grew up on the river, so I was in the river a lot.
Well, I grew up on the beach, and I also don't go in the ocean.
Nobody wants sand sticking to them. That's gross.
Oh, it's not even the sand. I don't like that part either. But I don't know what's in there. I grew up at Virginia Beach. That's not like you can't see stuff in there like you can. The pretty beaches. It's just brown.
But it's not any better to see the flora of the pretty beaches either, because I was parasailing one time and you could see the things that are in there. So it doesn't help to know they're in there.
No.
I
don't like water. I don't get in pools either, so seriously something wrong with me. Go ahead.
Really? Oh, all right. You have sensory issues. It's fine. I still love you.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
In 1983, in Rivesville, which is in Marion County, West Virginia, a coal miner named John Edward White observed a serpentine form with a basketball-sized head and a pickup truck-length tail churning water. In 2003, while fishing in the Allegheny River near Pittsburgh, PA, an unnamed man snapped a blurry picture of a large aquatic creature breaking the surface. In 2019, in roughly the same area, a spotlight being used by a night fishing party landed on an enormous turtle-like head just before it slipped back beneath the water and out of sight. Mm-hmm. So and I know you play this game, so it's a little factoid I throw in. If you play Fallout 76, Ogua is featured as a rare boss in the Beasts of Burden's public event and is tied into the Cult of the Mothman storyline, and he is pictured with just one head in that. Is that correct?
Yes.
I did see that correctly because I watched like a video of somebody when they got to that boss. He's also at the Cryptid Mountain Mini Golf Course that I mentioned. Let's see. Too. Yeah, he's there too. Ogua may also be called the Barboursville monster or the Holt monster.
Oh, I have not heard that.
Yes. I hadn't either, but I guess due to the location of where there were accounts of having seen it.
Right.
So they would call it according to what it was.
That's a pretty interesting one. I've seen pictures of it as a cryptid, but I haven't heard a whole lot of backstory on it. What was it, the 2003? Is that what it was? Mm. I remember reading something several years ago. Like I said, I'd seen it before. I had seen pictures and stuff, but it never really had a name when I had seen it. And
that was,
And I had even read other little accounts and stuff. But once that picture had came up from 2003, of course, with technology improving and such since
1745, the very first time.
Seeing as how we have cameras and stuff now. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then I remember hearing about the 2019 one also, but I hadn't heard like a whole lot of details. I think there was like a little quick interview with the guy on YouTube at some point, the one from 2019.
Oh, yeah. The WVOI interview.
Yes, I watched it.
Yes.
A while ago. So that was pretty much the only knowledge I really had. And of course, Fallout. We had very different cryptids.
We did.
Really awesome.
I feel like mine was more...
devil baby testicle, man.
I feel like my cryptid should have came from your area and yours should have came from mine, but that's just not how it works.
I know, it really does make more sense, to be fair, but no control over that, unfortunately.
We're just going to go over here and relocate the cryptids for newer stories, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're doing here at Macabre.Musings.Podcast.
That kind of worked out helpful, considering we were doing our little battle of the states. So, all right. So I am also going to do a missing moment today as well, since we're doing one from each state. My missing person is 17-year-old David Claude Yeager. David vanished from his home in Shreveport, Louisiana on February 6, 1971. His family, still searching for answers, is begging for help in this decades-old mystery. David's cousin, Kelly Chance, has made it her mission to find David, whether that means locating him or unraveling tragic circumstances surrounding his disappearance. Shreveport Police Sergeant Richard Turpin is now the lead on David's case. He is hoping that having David's case back in the spotlight will help generate some new information. Turpin says that trying to solve David's case is like putting together a puzzle without all the pieces, but he has vowed to never ever give up. So here's what we know. At the time of David's disappearance, he was living with his mother, Betty, and his younger brother on Lola Lane in Shreveport. David's father had moved to Texas shortly after he and Betty had divorced. Those who knew David described him as a kind young man who steered clear of trouble, followed the rules, and shared a close bond with his mother and brother. David was a senior at C.E. Byrd High School, located at 3201 Line Avenue in Shreveport. According to archival newspapers, David was a member of the Gare History Club, a member of the Library Club, and on the school's debate team.
So he was going to graduate soon.
Yeah.
Just adds to the sadness. They're all sad, guys. They are all sad.
They are. Certain things feel different, though.
Yeah.
On Saturday afternoon, February 6, 1971, David's younger brother said that David left the house on foot, supposedly heading to the Centenary College located at 2911 Centenary Boulevard to attend a debate. The boy's mother was not home at the time, leaving David to find his own way to the college. According to law enforcement, this is the last confirmed sighting of David. David left behind $200 in his bank account and his brand new senior ring. He was so excited, said Kelly. His mother said David was flashing the ring all around the house. He was so proud. That's what was so sad to me.
Yes.
So in 1971, hitchhiking was a common mode of transportation, and David's family feels that he may have resorted to this method to get to the debate. The distance from David's house to Centenary College is roughly about 8 miles. It would have taken him about 3 hours to walk.
Good night.
Yeah. David's family believes he may have arranged a ride, as his brother recalled David's confidence that day. He was calm and had a reassurance about him that led his younger brother to believe that David was going to meet someone, said Kelly. Investigators speculate the route that David would have taken, Lola Lane to Mansfield Road, then proceeding northeast towards Centenary Boulevard. Authorities did not know if David ever made it to the college that night and cannot confirm that. There was even a debate held on Saturday, February 6, 1971. It was Centenary's homecoming weekend, and many events were scheduled. David told his brother that he was going to meet up with friends, but the identity of these friends remains unknown. David was looking forward to his own high school's homecoming and reportedly had a new girlfriend. This is a piece of the puzzle that the public may be able to assist with. Do you know who David's girlfriend was?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. On April 27th, 1971, just 4 months after David was last seen, police said a 16-year-old girl named Kathy claimed to have seen David in Columbia Park in Shreveport. According to her account, the young man she ran into told her he was living in Natchitoches and was heading to New Orleans or Baton Rouge. However, the credibility of this sighting remains uncertain. David's family strongly believes that he would never have willingly left on his own. He had a good life and a family that loved him, said Kelly, and he was happy. David's cousin, Kelly, believes that he could have encountered one of the numerous serial killers that were active in the South in the 1970s. While investigators say they have excluded many, including John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, and Dean Corll, the candy man, Danny Rawlings, also known as the Gainesville serial killer, could have crossed paths with David that night, but it is unknown. Rawlings lived fewer than 3 miles from David in 1971 and committed a heinous murder in 1989, fewer than 0.04 miles from David's family home on Lola Lane.
Oh my gosh.
At the time, Rawlings was only 16 years old when David vanished. Did Rawlings, a future serial killer, have a connection to David's disappearance? It is a possibility, but police have no evidence at this time that he ever did. Rawlings later confessed to all of his killings before he died by lethal injection in 2006, and he never mentioned David.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. David Yeager would be 70 years old today. We always hold on to hope that David could be alive and living somewhere, said Sergeant Turpin. Shreveport police are asking anyone who knew David, went to school with David, may have information regarding his whereabouts, or knows what may have happened to him to call them at 1-318-673-7300, or the NCMEC number is 1-800-843-5678, and you can remain anonymous.
So you said Rawlings was 16 at the time.
Yes.
And he murdered someone in 1989. Now, was that his, the 89 was his first confirmed?
Yes, that was his first, as far as they know.
As far as his confessions go?
Correct. When I read that, I thought about that. I was like, being that close. I mean, being 16, that means literally nothing. And we know today, you know what I mean? Like,
correct.
We didn't think about it as much back then, of course, but I mean, in today's world, that's nothing.
No.
Is that possible? Absolutely. Once I started reading into some of the other stuff and that came in, I was kind of like, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no trace, so.
None.
I just don't understand complete disappearances.
I don't either. And it happens so much It baffles
Mhm.
me. Like,
It
walk
does.
out the door, no one sees anything. It's just crazy to me. Just because, like, in
Yes.
today's world, everything's somewhere. Like, between the cameras and the ring cams and the people being nosy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody sees something
Mhm.
somewhere. But that's what's wild. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. So for my missing moment, I am going to cover Bonnie Jeannie Hutton. And this is a very confusing case. For one thing, there are places where she's listed as Bonnie Jean Hutton. There is a Bonnie Jean Hutton, and I think I mentioned her later on, and if I don't, I'll go back and explain what I'm talking about there. It gets very confusing. I had a hard time putting everything in order, and I couldn't make sense of some things. And then I finally decided that I was just going to need to make it as simple as possible. And what I ended up doing, I was out in the holler, and Zoe was there, and I kept getting aggravated. And she's like, "Well, what's going on?" And I tell her, and like she's asking some questions, and I just start spitting out the information. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's how I have to type this out." So that was helpful. So thanks for that there, Zoe.
Yeah.
I'm still a little confused, and you guys will be too. So let's get into this. Bonnie Jeannie Hutton, age 44, was officially reported missing on February 13th, 1983 from New Martinsville in Wetzel County, West Virginia. She was 5'7", 135 pounds, with red or auburn hair and blue eyes. I was unable to find her official birth date or to confirm where she was born, but it appears to have been in Denver, Colorado in 1938 or 1939. And that is just given to her age at the time she was reported missing. In November of 1958, Bonnie gave birth to a daughter, Cynthia Jean Gay, and her husband at the time was David Gay. At age 3, Cynthia was adopted by her paternal uncle Bill Gay and his wife Annie. I'm going to go slow here because it gets confusing to even read my own notes. Cynthia was raised under the last name Dort, but I was unable to confirm where Dort fell into this, though it was suggested that it had been Annie's maiden name, but I wasn't able to confirm that either. So at age 14, Cynthia finds out that neither Bill nor David were her biological father, and that her biological father is actually Ben Johnson. So that occurred, I was reading the interview, and what happened was she had said something about when she's married, who's going to walk her down the aisle? Would it be Bill or David? And the adopted father, so Bill, he gets angry and yells, "That's not even your dad is Ben."
Oh.
Yeah. In 1969, Bonnie moved from Colorado to West Virginia. I wasn't able to find any information about that. And by that, I mean, was she still living in Denver before she moved? And did she move straight to New Martinsville? I don't know. And I really couldn't find it. And I looked hard. I read a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So in 1976 or 1977, her family in Colorado received a handwritten letter confirming she was still in West Virginia.
Oh.
This was their last confirmed contact with Bonnie.
Oh.
Okay. She's not reported missing until 1983. In 1978 or 1979, Bonnie gave birth to a daughter named Tammy. I could not find any information about her. Cynthia, who is the confirmed daughter, is also trying to find the information about Tammy, okay? Because this is going to be either her full sister or half-sister. She can't even figure that out. I'm not sure if she was born in West Virginia or Colorado, but it seems she may have went back to Colorado at one point. So I can't confirm if she went back and forth. Like something I read that said she went back, and then something else I read said that she left there and never went back. It's so confusing. So in 1983, Bonnie was living in New Martinsville with her 4-year-old daughter named Tammy. And again, I can't find any information on her. And I did look to see the family in Colorado knew about Tammy, but I don't know at what point they knew about Tammy. Did they just know she was pregnant with a baby? Did they know Tammy, they had physically seen her? I mean, they had seen her with their own eyeballs. I can't find any information on Tammy. She's not on the NamUs website. Though Bonnie's NamUs profile states she was last seen with her 4-year-old daughter, Tammy. Okay.
Oh,
I can't even find information regarding who had seen the two of them together.
that's kind of crazy.
Or when.
She would have been 4 if that's the last
Correct.
time she was seen. So that's someone would
But
have had.
who set their eyes upon this child when she was 4?
Did she also go missing with her?
Yeah, but she doesn't have a NamUs thing. So why not? Like, she's not in the
Right.
missing persons anywhere. So on February 13th, 1983, Bonnie's family, after years of no contact, alerted law enforcement. So again, on February 13th, 1983, about a 45-minute drive from New Martinsville, in Littleton, which is also in Wetzel County, West Virginia, the nude body of a female matching Bonnie's description down to the cesarean section scar was found in the area of an illegal dump site. It was an elderly couple who had spotted what they thought was a mannequin laying face down in the snow over a hill near U.S. Route 250. And it was later determined, despite similarities, that this was not Bonnie.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Okay. She had the same color hair, same height.
But
Go ahead.
I said this body was found on the exact same day that she was reported missing.
That is correct.
Matched the description to a T.
To a T.
Not Bonnie.
It is mentioned that so that woman ends up being dubbed the Wetzel Jane Doe. Okay. She still has not been identified. It is mentioned that I know. It is mentioned that she has dentures, but nobody confirmed whether or not Bonnie had dentures.
But she had been gone her family, she had been gone for years, so they would probably know that, you know what I mean?
They had no contact with her for years.
Well,
so they really don't know when her date of disappearance was.
That.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
So, yeah, I was not able to find any information on how it was determined that this was not Bonnie.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I have no idea. It's so confusing.
She was never identified, so.
Correct.
I mean, I'm glad they don't just say, well, it must be her. But, like,
that's her.
What determined that she was not is what I would like to know.
Right. And I don't know when dental records became a thing, but, I mean, if she does not have her natural teeth, you're not going to be able to use that. However, aren't they assigned like a number or some identifying feature?
Something.
I worked in a dentist office and I should know this.
Hey, ma'am. You're the person that should have that one. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I am also curious about that. So, to further add more what in the world to this. Well, okay, let me say this. Another thing on this. How did they determine that? Do they still have, or were there any, because she was nude, maybe there weren't, and at the time it wasn't such a thing. So, DNA samples.
Right.
If there are, can they compare Cynthia's DNA to the Wetzel Jane Doe to make sure?
I mean, they should be able to. Now. They're identifying bodies that they found in the 30s that weren't identified just recently, like 1935, I think is when it was like a little girl, and they just ID'd her like a couple of months ago. I mean,
yeah, it's so confusing. So confusing. Also happening during this time, I don't remember if I said or not, but Cynthia was raised not knowing that she was adopted at all, or not remembering it. So she was adopted at age 3. She didn't remember that.
Oh.
So I guess it was at 14 when that might have been when she found out she was adopted.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'll have to reread. There's an interview with her.
Well,
I know. It's so confusing.
So in that case, DNA would kind of be tricky too.
Correct. But she learned through one of those DNA things,
right,
that's who her mom was. But I can't figure out how. I probably should have thrown that information in there earlier. But so yeah, she, I guess, finds out that she's adopted when she's 14, starts trying to figure out who she actually is, and finds out that Bonnie is her real mother. So another thing that was happening during the time of Bonnie's disappearance, so many names that I'm forgetting who I'm even talking about, was a series of murders dubbed the Redhead Murders.
I remember.
Do you remember that?
I do. I remember being
I do too.
A child and being warned all the time. And
yeah, because you were going to be snatched up next with your red hair.
Right. Stay inside.
Right. go dye your hair.
Right.
That's what people did. There was another serial killer that went after a certain hair color and one would dye his hair.
Yeah.
So the Wetzel Jane Doe is sometimes considered the first victim. So it wouldn't be far-fetched that Bonnie may have also been a victim, given the similarities that the two women.
Well,
and the confirmed, yeah. And
serial killer, they look for similarities. So
yes,
and they were similar enough to have even considered that she may have been the same person. So
right,
yeah.
They think, by the way, that might have been a long haul trucker. I'm going to probably look into that.
Yeah.
So I tried to get as much information as I could, and I tried to make it make sense. I do want to cover, like I said, the Wetzel Jane Doe and the Redhead murders in later episodes, much later episodes. So back to the Bonnie Jean Hutton thing. That is a woman who lived in Colorado and died in 2014.
Oh.
So you can see how Bonnie Jeannie Hutton.
Right.
And her information can get mixed up when you're trying to research because, like I said, when I first started researching her, I was researching Bonnie Jean Hutton.
Yeah.
But I would add missing from, and then I would read the articles, and then I found that obituary, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But she has a different date of, she has a different year of birth. Remember, I couldn't find an exact date or place of birth. So it got very confusing.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I feel like I didn't report on that very well, but
I mean, as best you could.
I gave you all of the important information.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're all just as confused as I am. So if you have information about that case,
that's great.
You can check the show notes. We'll have some contact information there. Her NamUs case is MP 61444. But we're going to have all of this. And of course, you can contact the Wetzel County Sheriff's Office in New Martinsville at 304-455-9200. So that's that confusing case.
Wow, that's doozy.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I think that's all we have for you this time. If you've got your own macabre musings, questions, or lore that you're dying to hear, find us on Facebook or drop us a line at Macabre.Musings.Podcast at gmail.com. We appreciate you hanging out around the fire with us tonight.
Pull up a chair next time as we dive into more dark, creepy lore and maybe tumble down a rabbit hole or two. Until then, keep your lanterns low and your curiosities high.
We will see y'all later.